Welcome back to the arena. We've got a great fight for you all tonight. And fighting for the blue team, we have Mid-Space's favorite big bad bucket of bolts, the princess's own DEETS. And beamed in from the comfort of a command ship, leading legion and fleet in conquest for the Empire, it's Admiral Larkey! Who win? Let's get ready to rumble! Hello and welcome, everybody. We're back at it again. We're gonna do another cage fight.
Yes.
Another
Cage fight.
who would
Cage fight.
win. We got Admiral Larkey. We got DEETS.
Oh,
Yeah, we
my
do.
Lord.
We got man versus machine. We got Empire versus criminal.
Oh.
We got establishment versus DIY counterculture.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, we do. And you know what? You're not going to believe this, but I have an opinion.
Oh, dang.
I mean,
Yep.
who doesn't, right?
Who
So,
doesn't? Like no one. Everybody's gotten everybody
one. Where
brought
you
their
going?
bets to this
Nowhere.
match.
We
Nowhere.
bought our bets.
who are we? We are the Backwater Bastards.
Yeah, we are.
Over there with one of those announcers' sports microphones in front of his face is Daniel, aka Dr. Z, the psychic jellyfish.
But tonight, I am Daryl, and I'm here to announce this brilliant fight of man versus machine. My fingers are sweating already in anticipation.
And right next to him in the announcer's booth, it's Taylor, also known as Cleo DeCap, but also known as Daryl.
Hey, yo, it's Daryl, and we're here tonight, and God, Daryl, I can't even tell you, this is gonna be something. We got a guy, and we got a fucking, what is that? We got another guy, and they are gonna whip each other apart. Daryl, let's do this.
It is time to get those eyes checked again, Daryl, but I think it's going to be fun.
I can't afford it.
Not on the salary.
Not on
Please.
this salary, indeed.
Remember, folks, leave a tip on the way out.
Feed your Daryls. Yikes.
And joining us throughout this entire bout of violence and gore and glory, we have the powerful DM Dynamite.
Oh,
Thank you.
And also Daryl.
Yeah, right? You're Daryl too. Just
Also, sometimes my Daryl voice, I might be 2 or 3 different Daryls depending.
That's right. You do switch up the
Depending
Daryl.
on which Daryl voice I get into.
I feel like last time I did like 14 different Daryls, and I think
that's
that's
the job.
fine.
It's fine.
There's
it's fine.
a team of them.
Look, it's switching channels.
This is like the cantina. This is space. Like there might actually just be like 15 different Daryls.
They have a
And they're
very
all little
rigorous
aliens.
hiring process.
Little aliens.
So,
Yeah.
guys, what are we doing? Who would win?
Okay.
Let's just get a few of ground rules in place, definitions.
Well, what are the
What
rules
does
of
it mean
engagement?
Tell
to
us the
win?
rules of engagement, Dickie.
All right, how do you win? This is simple: death, incapacitation, or getting someone to submit or
Cut them in half.
forfeit.
Cut them in half.
Whoa. Submission?
We're talking death, TKO, or
I
tap
pay
out.
extra
Wow.
for that.
Now, these characters, we're not talking about like the utmost of their capabilities in a purely academic sense. We are talking about them fighting in character.
Yes.
So a character
We
who
are.
is willing to kill will use that in the fight. A character who is not, they'll really need to be put on the spot before
But
they will
they
use
have
lethal
been
force.
motivated to be in this context, which don't worry
Yes,
about
their
it.
motivation was they were sent summons, they were given a month of preparation time, and then they were beamed here to the Benjamin's Violence Arena.
1 month prep time, which is always going to be an important thing because
That's
it does
so
mean
much.
that
Yes.
strategy-based characters do have all of their intelligence, all of their strategy is there on the line as part of how they fight. And I think that's really going to come into play with both of these characters because
Think
they
about
are
what you could
both
do in a month.
strategists.
Yes.
They both organize other people.
Think
And these
about
are
the
two
right bef-
logistics.
Yeah.
These
They
two
are in
two
admin.
logistics people. What they're going to bring?
Think of all the
I'm
right before
curious.
sex push-ups you could do in a month.
Oh.
I don't think
I
Deets
mean,
does that. I think he is.
Probably already good.
No, when you're a synth, doing push-ups has the opposite effect because you don't want to actually put wear and tear on your parts.
That's
if anything,
the life for me,
you want to
baby.
stand still whenever you're not doing anything useful.
That's what I'm trying to tell people about my behavior.
So,
I love
where are we
that.
fighting? Last time we started in a pretty standard cage match arena.
yes.
But this time, we're going to mix it up a bit. We're going to be in a bit more of like a laser tag style military
Ooh.
arena where there are turrets, there are places to hide, there's corners, there's cover.
This is very Destiny, very Cauldron and Horizon.
The arena is moving and changing shape as we witness right now. It is deforming from the previous into the new current.
It's alive. It's hurting people.
But as per usual, the combatants can rampage through the walls, through the ceiling, through the floor,
yes.
and move into other arenas
100%.
if need be.
And we're not even going to tell you where they could end up. You're going to have to find out.
That's got to be a surprise
Or we'll forget.
for us as well.
All right, well, with these rules of engagement laid down, let's get into the combatants.
Now we're going over to our combatant camps. We're going to see a little close-up of each of these
Daryl, look
fine
at 'em.
fighters.
Prize fighters, prize
Look at
fighters.
Deets there. He's
Prize fighters indeed.
he's a huge synth.
What a boy. What a boy.
Fucking huge
That
guy.
is one huge guy.
That's a huge guy. That's a huge guy. What is it? Deets. What a huge guy. And I mean now.
Now, I've had our boffins here at the studio run up some of the details here on Deets, and we have come up with not much. He seems very mysterious, and whatever is known about him is very little.
We sent over form with him, and Daryl, this guy didn't even.
He did not return it. No.
No, he did not. So, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got?
So what do we know about Deets?
Oh,
First of all,
he's
Deets
cool.
he is a big militaristic synth. We don't entirely know his origins. We know he's from the synth army at some point, but he's been in mid-space as long as Princess Zuzu has as her second in command
Yep.
and just her chief enforcer.
yeah.
He is in his current form because he was dismembered by the bastards earlier on in their career.
Sorry.
But his current form, he has huge, like long, animal shape, like those backwards knee legs with extra joints
Oh, heck yes.
that allow him to rise up to around 8 feet tall.
Ooh.
They are stompy, powerful. You get the impression that he can leap very high and very far.
He's got the legs of a grasshopper.
He is built for getting from place to place, and then his arms, again, these powerful clamping claws with
Dang.
built-in blades and blasters. He is the kind of synth that will just leap across a hall, pounce on you, and kill you very fast. But he's
Well, heck.
That sounds about right.
more than that. He's we've known him to be a bit more of a sort of a shady gangster figure. He owns a bar on Midspace.
One of the coolest places on Midspace.
And we are allowed to go there.
We're now allowed to go there again, but we've also seen Deets straight up murder people outside
Yeah.
his drinking establishment.
Kind of, yeah.
Essentially, I mean, he's tasked with keeping the peace in Midspace in a lot of ways. He is essentially like a gang enforcer. He is part of an organized crime thing, but he is also, part of what keeps the wheels running in Midspace in its current form, at least.
And we haven't fought him since he got kitted out by K2K2 in his new form.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there. So
Yeah.
we don't necessarily
so he has,
know.
I mean, you know that K2K2 is one of the top
we know.
armorers in this part of the galaxy,
Yeah.
at least.
Absolutely.
You have some K2K2 gear, and it's among the best things you own.
It
Well,
also
Deets has got
Kind of
an
one way-
entire
that's one way to put
K2K2
it.
refit.
Yeah.
He commands an army of
Fair.
gangsters, of synths,
Yes.
synths, humans, and aliens in general.
But there's a lot of stuff that we don't know about him. Like, is he packing any heat? Like, does he have equipment? We don't really know.
No. I mean, you know what was in the old arm that Cleo took.
Yep.
And that was already state-of-the-art military at the time.
Yeah.
So it's been replaced. And, that was right at the start of our campaign. So whatever's in that new arm is going to be extra strong. And we know that K2K2 can provide the goods.
He's got a ghost axe arm.
Ooh, maybe.
I don't know.
We don't know a lot about
We're gonna
his
find out
history
tonight.
yet, but we do know that he and Zuzu, they did take down the captain and
Yes.
take over midspace.
Yeah.
Some years back, they
Don't you just
out-
want to see a campaign about Zuzu and DEETS? That's
Kind-
got to be the
kind
coolest
of.
fucking story ever.
Yeah,
You guys
I
are
do.
making me
I really
like him,
do.
and that's just
I
not.
love DEETS. I think DEETS is one of the coolest characters we've got in this universe.
All right.
I mean, I always compare him to like that villain who's kind of like the anti-hero on the good guy's side when push comes to shove. Like Vegeta's the one I always
I
think
know,
of.
but he's just
Exactly.
so mean.
But we've touched on it. DEETS is mean, but if you're on DEETS' good side, DEETS will do anything and will
And
move
we
mountains
might never
for you.
be. We
may never get there,
be.
but we see how dang loyal DEETS is
It's
for
just hard
Zuzu.
to know that it exists, and we can't have it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that guy's really nice, but you'll never get to see it.
You know what? That scene from Game of Thrones where the Hound and the Mountain are fighting, and I
Okay.
imagine DEETS is like the Hound, where the king says stop, and immediately the Hound takes a knee, and the blade misses, chopping off the Hound's head. You know that scene? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just
sort of
see-
remember that,
I
yeah.
just see DEETS as being so incredibly loyal to Zuzu that DEETS could be mid-fight, and then Zuzu could just say stop, and DEETS, even if he was going to take a hit, would just stop. I just think he's about that queen.
The Hound of Zuzu.
He's about that princess, rather.
I imagine that Dietz as well would completely ignore Zuzu if he was trying to protect her.
Oh, yes. Yeah. If it was to protect her, for sure.
I feel like he suddenly becomes
He's reckless.
Yeah.
Well, he's almost like he's the link to her Princess Zelda or something. Like he is like the hero of his own story. I kind of imagine. And we've never heard that story, but like there's little glimpses of it that they have this kind of relationship.
We've not heard it, but I've built it up in my head too much, and I'm a fan. I like the DEETS.
Do you ship the two of them, or are they got a
Oh my
platonic
god,
relationship?
Dick! Wow.
Oh, I think
I ship it in a weird way where like it's like
It's
the
like the
bodyguard, but it's
like
like
the bodyguard. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
not,
exactly.
but it is, but it could be, but
Uh-huh.
it's also got like some really weird textures in there.
Yeah.
But I kind of ship them. It's like a Lancelot and Guinevere kind of like
Yeah.
situation almost.
I'll ship it, and I say that there is no one else that DEETS can respect more, and there's no one else that can understand Zuzu more. So they're both stuck in a way
so
where
if
like
either one of
they're
them
so
gets
strong.
somebody, it won't work.
They're such strong personalities that they brilliant on their own, and they understand each other in a way that no one else does. Is how I see it.
I like that.
If Zuzu ever got like a partner, Dietz
It
would
wouldn't
kill
happen.
it. Dietz would kill it.
Yeah, DEETS would.
Dietz would find a way. Oh, they're
Yeah.
gone. They left.
Yeah. I don't even know actually. I think DEETS.
Nah.
Is that a bit too toxic for them though? I think
Yeah,
like
it
I
is.
think they've got a
It
good
is.
relationship.
I think they've got a great relationship. I think DEETS would keep his mouth
I
shut.
want
but
it
I
to
think,
be like a little
I think DEETS would
toxic.
confidently know, hey, you're never going to understand Zuzu. Like
I feel like
whatever,
Dietz,
you know.
okay, Dietz
Yeah.
wouldn't disappear them, but Dietz would definitely like one day like talk to them in the hallway and be like,
I don't even think DEETS would make an effort.
you'll never be as close to
No,
her
no,
as
no.
Yeah.
I don't even think DEETS would make an effort. I think DEETS is confident. DEETS is cool steel. DEETS is cold.
I
DEETS
guess.
is just so about himself and knows
Dietz
who he
is
is.
not a cuck, Dan.
Exactly. But I'm just saying that DEETS.
Exactly.
But Dietz wouldn't.
He doesn't even need,
even need to care.
dignify it.
Yeah, he doesn't. He wouldn't
Whatever.
even pay attention to it. He knows where he is. Yeah. I don't know. I love Dietz though. I'm putting that out there.
I don't
I'm,
know. I don't
I'm
know.
maybe biased on all this.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the arena, gearing up, he doesn't look like much, but he's one of the Terran Empire's top officers. We have Admiral Larkey.
Daryl, what the hell is that? What did they send? They sent that guy. Look at that. He's like 13 kilos soaking wet. What is
Now
that?
he's doing some stretches.
What I'm seeing right now is that Stretch is taking one tea bag and wait, what's he doing?
What is that? Daryl.
He's dunking it in hot water.
the hot water. He's making his own tea. This is a logistics genius. Let's count out the dunks. That is 4 dunks. This Admiral Larkey is coming with a plan, and so far what I'm seeing is very considered moves.
He looks very calm and very collected.
That was the first time he's ever made his own team learn. Wow, Daryl.
Oh, he is coming with sauces now. This is not the usual pre-setup for a fighter. Usually we like to see these fighters pacing around, getting a feel for the place. This Admiral Larkey's just making himself at home. He's leaning back.
What is that, slippers?
That is Terran slippers. Oh, DEETS, you're in for this guy is giving us cold comfort. This is
You cannot fault that sort of confidence.
This is confidence at its purest. I don't even know if we're going to see him do anything else other than enjoy himself before we get to the violence.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
So, guys, Larkey, what do we know?
Like, barely anything. This is terrifying. Like, what do we actually know? Like, I do have a picture in my head of what he looks like, specifically. Yes. I don't know why, but...
So, I mean, he's an old Terran dude, from private school. He went to school with Herodotus, and he was, like... He's younger than Harry, but not by a lot. They were in the same school.
To me, it is... I know we don't know much about Larkey, but we know a lot about Harry. And so I'm kind of copy-pasting a lot of things about Harry onto Larkey because they went to the same school. They're kind of the same person.
I mean, they've got the same background, but Larkey is definitely like Herodotus is just like eternally confident. Like he is that man who is like, he's been so privileged that he has the utmost confidence in himself. Yeah. He will just go for something. Whereas Larkey is a bit more underhanded and a lot less sure of himself and much more willing to do anything to impress, I think.
Yeah, I feel like Larkey is a little more...
Like Larkey is a little bit more of a mad dog than Herodotus, even though he doesn't seem it. He has that trauma and that weakness inside him that actually makes him frightening.
Well, this is true, actually.
I think he struggled in a different way than Herodotus, because when they would interact in the episodes, it always kind of felt like Herodotus didn't always really get where Larkey was coming from. Like, Larkey is a little bit more
and Larkey did end up catching the ire of the Emperor. So Larkey clearly isn't obeying each rule as they come down. Larkey is... Yeah,
and he's not always delivering, right?
Yeah. Larkey was betting big. He was like, I will take this entire moon. If I don't fail, then I will be a hero.
And then when he does fail, he gets smacked. Yeah. So I think he's taken a fair amount of abuse, and he's kind of a evolved character.
He's a risk taker. He's willing to play
confident.
Big.
Yeah.
And he's willing to, he's willing to kill at, a drop of a hat. Maybe not by his own hand, but he's like...
Yeah.
So, what's the physical build situation? Like, are we thinking that he's, old and frail? Or are we...
Well, I mean, he is a career military
some
man.
mods?
Ooh, yeah. Because we had Herodotus was missing a leg, and so it had it replaced with a prosthetic. What about Larkey? Has he got some battle wounds?
I feel like this is my thought. If he's got, do we place him at an upper class? Probably, right?
I think so. I mean, he's
an officer of the Terran military this high up. He's got to have some coin.
Yeah, I mean, he's progressed a lot further than Herodotus ever did. Like, he is, he's an admiral, you know?
I would imagine that at this point in the future, a humanoid individual would have a little bit of work done.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we maybe not to the level of BJ, but it's just something that you could make some gross assumptions about, couldn't you? Like, we don't know about the entirety of the Terran military, but
there's definitely going to be some type of personal shield mod that is tech level, military tech level.
Do you think he has that on him?
I think so, because he's not going to be walking around as an admiral of the fleet without.
And we've got to remember he's got a month prep, so
he's got a month prep. So I think he's coming in with shields. I think his. Do
you think he has
armor,
nanites?
I was going to say, I think he's going to have nanites prepped in the bloodstream already.
I think self-shielding, self-healing, those are the kind of things that he can literally go in and say, hey, guys, give me these.
He can requisite from the army provisions, I think.
Okay, but any crazy stuff?
I would like to propose that Larkey has come with...
Just remember that I'm the ref.
Okay.
Well, he's going to have top-of-the-line Terran military gear, which does mean
that
Hasselphilium's tech.
I want to propose sensors that
what do they
Larkey,
do?
Because Larkey is logistics, right? And so Larkey always needs to know what's going on around him.
Okay.
And so I think some type of high-tech sensors, I don't know if it's radar, X-ray, or whatever type of detective field, but if you're rolling perception checks, I think Larkey's getting a +5 to that type of stuff because of, have his surrounding awareness.
Do you think
modded.
that those sensors also work like jammers?
Ooh.
So that if you, like, he rolls on perception and gets a +5, if you try to roll against, like, in his area,
That's
it
an interesting
jams
one.
it -5.
Do you think that's a move that Larky would have?
I mean, that's not something I've ever even considered as being tech that could exist in OR.
Make
And
him do
now I
shit
love it
tonight.
so much. Now I love it so much.
But do you think
Guess
Larky
what?
is coming with that, you know?
He's definitely, that's exactly the sort of thing he's coming in with. He's going to be like, kind of James Bonding it with, like, I've got the latest gadgets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, I mean, he knows he's coming in for this fight. Yeah, a one-on-one fight. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
But
And
yeah.
one thing I guess we have always seen Larky with is a command ship. We've also, we've seen him with, I guess we were doing an invasion of a planet scene, so it was very much ship combat oriented. He doesn't necessarily only command forces in the air, but he's...
Yeah. He's a fleet man. He is
He's
an
a fleet
admiral.
man.
And so, like, to be an admiral, you got to have a fleet.
And he came in with a very big fleet. I mean, it's the sort of thing where
Whoa.
maybe the fleet's not invited to this fight, but do
Wow.
you think they are like
When you
in,
said it
in
like
low
that.
orbit?
Yeah.
You know that they have come ashore. It's fleet
Exactly.
week. When the fleet comes ashore in parties, that's like a thing
Yeah.
with navies. And like,
Yeah.
I picture it. The whole
Yeah.
fleet has come ashore.
They're watching
They're in pubs. They are all like in uniform. They are
Yes.
mowing through the town. They're picking up synths. They're doing weird drugs. They're eating fruit. Larky's their boy.
Larky is there, and Larky is an admiral that isn't afraid to get dirty and is
They
up
love him.
there fighting. And so, and you know,
I'll bet
because
they really like him because of that.
you know, and when Larky called in this bombardment when we met Larky, you know, I imagine in Terran Empire that's probably a weird thing to have the admiral on the ship with you doing the dirty work. So probably
I don't know.
well respected and looked to, because in a world where you've got communication that can go straight across the galaxy, an
Yeah, why
admiral
be
could just
there?
stay on New Terra. So Larky probably has some kind of harumph amongst the general soldiery.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
There's gonna be some fights in the stands
Well, he's certainly
tonight,
like he
boys.
had enough autonomy to sort of go in and like make this move on Zarg Moon.
There are pictures of brew out in
which is
just
like
sloshing.
outside of necessarily like what the Empire's official stance was. He was able to bring that entire thing with him.
This is probably exactly why he got killed, but now it's reminding me of the ancient Roman generals. You know, they'd be out fighting in Gaul or in the other areas and in the frontiers of the empire, and then would look back to Rome and see that Rome was broken, and then would decide, hey, I'm going to save Rome by turning my army back, marching on Rome, the thing I love, with my Roman Empire to save it. And I feel like Larky, maybe the Empire saw that, the Emperor saw that in Larky. Like, this guy is out there, he's Julius Caesaring it, he is being respected by his troops. And at some point, he's getting too powerful. Maybe he might come back and try and fix things back on New Terra rather than being out in the frontiers where I want him to be, expanding the empire.
Yeah.
It doesn't really add anything to this battle, but it's just the feeling now I'm getting of Larky is like this.
I definitely I feel like we were playing a lot with like Roman Empire stuff in terms of that whole story, and like the fact that the Emperor was secretly behind everything,
Exactly,
playing Larky
yeah,
as
yeah,
much
yeah.
as he was playing the bastards.
Yeah.
Larky was always kind of a little bit doomed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess notably as well, much like DEETS and his encounter with the bastards, Larky was defeated by the bastards and ultimately executed by an Imperial assassin.
Yes.
So I guess we're taking Larky from prior
From
to the
the
Zarg
grave.
Moon siege, like immediately before.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because, like, they both have military training, but I mean, like, how does that differ? You know, because not the same military.
DEETS wouldn't have had any sort of rank because that's not how the Synth army works. He would have just been a soldier because they all are, which means any training that he has or any skills that he has, like commanding troops or like strategizing on his own, he has developed himself with Zuzu, with their empire, their criminal empire, which means he doesn't really have formal training.
Yeah, I would say that DEETS is adaptive. DEETS would learn in the environment that DEETS is in. Whereas I think Larky
does
is
have
textbook.
very formal training.
Yeah.
Like he's got a rule book. Yeah, if he's going to go through something, he will do the things that he knows will work.
Larky has studied previous engagements and is building on previous knowledge, whereas DEETS is adapting to things that are happening around him right at the moment.
Daryl, these are really different guys. But...
Well, Daryl, I'd like to say they are different, but they're also quite similar.
How do you figure that?
What do you mean by that?
Well, the Boffins haven't been able to get too much information on their personal lives, but we figured out that both of them serve and both are quite deadly loyal to their higher officials. We have DEETS over here is fiercely loyal to the Princess Zuzu, while Larky in this corner is all about that empire. And I'd like to say, God bless the empire. We all are rooting for the empire, of course, right? Please don't.
Oh, please don't cancel us. We pay the taxes.
Please don't kill us.
We pay them.
So, parallels. I think that this is an interesting one because we did Boris and M8 and like they weren't that similar.
No.
Other than the fact that they were like little
pacifists.
tinkerers, you know, and they were pacifists. Okay, maybe they were. Maybe they were actually really
these guys
similar.
actually, they are the absolute opposite of that last pairing in that they are both shown to be incredibly ruthless.
Oh, they don't give a
DEETS
glob
will
about anyone.
execute someone in the street if they owe money and haven't been able to pay it back.
Oh my god. Yep.
Larky will literally
Bomb a planet.
Step on your
bombard
face.
a civilian population.
Larky will bomb the civilians to get the military area to capitulate.
But you know what? It's fine because at the end of the day, both of these clowns have been smacked down by the bastards.
They have been.
So they have that in common too, which I guess if we keep going for the villains of the past, is probably something a lot of characters are going to have in common.
Well, maybe.
You know, until they don't, and then the show will be
As
over.
the announcers astutely addressed, they both answer to a higher power. They both
royalty.
have a royal person in their life that they serve.
So does that mean that they're knights?
Ooh, they're almost knighted, yes.
Is this like a joust?
I mean, I feel like
this is a joust. Yeah, this is a joust now.
This is a
DEETS
joust.
is definitely a knight at least.
No, this is definitely a joust now.
Oh my god, think about like that sexy crossover, like DEETS, a knight of the round table.
Atop a mechanical steed.
Courtly, chivalrous love.
Pointing his lance over to Zuzu.
The
as she
Lancelot Guinevere
braces.
thing you said like really resonates there.
Let me get your
Gain
rag.
your favor. And she places her favor, Taylor. It's
I'm
called
just
a favor.
like, let me get your
rag.
rag.
No, it's called a favor. Atop
Do
his
you
lance.
have a rag, lady? Please.
I need a rag for my lance.
No, dude, you're ruining it.
Dick, you made it so sexy.
Okay. Anyways, let's move on because you've ruined
They
it.
both command troops.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would imagine completely different ways. DEETS
In your feelings.
in discussion or planning or anything. We've seen this when we were trying to plan the attack with DEETS. DEETS was just like, we will attack when we attack. You have this much time and that's it. I'm doing what I want when I want to do it. I'm allowing you 5 minutes to do what you want, but that's it. And that's whereas Larky's going to make sure that every part of the machine is oiled and ready and works together like clockwork.
Larky, he comes in with a plan. I mean, not to say that he's not incredibly underhanded. Like he will make a big move of a distraction. He will sacrifice troops to get what he wants. But ultimately, like once all this dust settles, you'll realize, yes, this entire thing was a plan.
Yes, yeah. Nothing is going to be unconsidered with Larky. Whereas I think DEETS can, find a flaw and act on it, but also by that same thing could be found to be flawed in some fine details of logistics. I'm not saying DEETS is a bad leader. Faults could be found in both. A plan needs to change once it's engaged, and so that's where Larky's bad. But also, if a plan isn't made properly, then that can be bad as well. So.
And I mean, DEETS might have that same kind of effect that the Bastards did on Larky in terms of being like a difficult, chaotic opponent to fight.
Yeah.
Getting Larky more and more flustered if his plan isn't panning out.
Yeah.
That said, he's had a whole month to prepare, knowing who his opponent is.
Yeah.
So he will be as prepared as he possibly can, specifically to take on someone of that kind of build, someone like a big armored, physically imposing synthetic.
No, yeah, for sure. This is where the month-long planning time comes into.
I mean, he will bring the weapons to the fight that Boris wasn't willing to against MA.
Yes. And now what else do they have that's similar?
They're both high-tech boys.
They are.
Yeah. They're both going to use the best tool for the job.
Larkey with mods, with equipment, with the best armor and weapons for the job. DEETS having just elevated his very body to the most strong, imposing form that he can afford.
Yeah.
And I mean, they each as well, they represent their home territory, like very much so. DEETS is part of the management of Midspace. He is intrinsically tied to the station, whereas Larkey is an admiral in the Imperial Army of New Terra.
100%. And as they even, like, from our perspective, may be seen as the villainous type of characters, I think it's fair to say that they both have strong constitutions and they're fighting for what they are believing in. Larkey fights for the Empire and believes in that, probably a certain element of personal gain as well in that belief structure, but 100% is willing to do whatever it takes, and same with DEETS. You know, DEETS believes in his princess and believes, I hope, and believes in Midspace.
If you'll turn your attention to the screens above you, we have some prior footage of these combatants in combat, what we've seen so far.
Oh, well, this is some high-grade footage. What we're about to see now is being slowed down and then sped up.
Roll that back, Daryl. Roll that back.
So fighting styles, what we have seen the combatants do within the context of the podcast. Now that, both of these characters, although they've both been quite heavily featured in their respective story arcs, we've not actually seen them do a lot of combat themselves.
Not themselves in the thick of the fray, but we've heard of their actions.
So DEETS, the first time we saw DEETS in combat, it was against the Bastards. And
yeah, like early on too. We
he lost an arm and a leg to Cleo.
Yeah. Why did we roll on him so hard?
He was chasing after us because he stole...
He was coming at you like a T-1000. Like he was...
Okay, that's fair then.
We were running down a street and we jumped onto a spaceship and onto Reese, and then he jumped onto Reese as well, and we had to...
Oh, that hurt our feelings. You know what? He didn't have to do that.
We did also break the contract, though, so it was...
Okay, well, it wasn't very good.
It's definitely in his character to, like, come at you like that.
We promised a thing that then we immediately broke, so...
Okay, well, it was in our character to defend Reese, and so that was why, that was the start of Cleo's hand necklace. We didn't actually make any friends in that.
We fucked up the rebellion, and we fucked up the DEETS thing.
This ain't RuPaul's best friends race, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you guys are still, like, you know, like... at odds with both of those major players.
We could have been friends with one side from the very beginning, but we
made our choices.
Buggered it up.
And I'm proud of us. And you know what? Look at all that we've accomplished. Anyway.
Look at our fangs.
So Dick's like,
but DEETS, okay. we've seen him, as we prior to mentioned, he just straight up executing people.
Yes.
Out front, out back
literally
of his bar.
every time we show up.
Every time we show up to the bar, he's killing someone else.
And do you remember that one time that we showed up and it was going to be us, but then Zuzu stopped him?
Yeah.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Awkward.
And we've also, when he came into combat alongside you guys against the One True Leader,
he had a dang plan to fucking finish everyone off at the end of it. He wasn't there to fight fair with all of us. He was there to get what he wanted done.
Exactly.
And that was it.
That's all he cares about. And you know, that's fine.
You'll take out the One True Leader, take out the Resistance, it's all the same. It's a problems in the Night City.
Look, I love the guy. He's incredible.
It is what it is. He gets results.
Larkey, we have not seen Larkey actually engage in combat himself at all.
No.
But we have seen him engaging in combat with the Bastards, the Craw, and the Zargians.
Yeah.
Through his army.
Also, he was like really mean about it when we needed to charge our hotel room to his budget. So
that's true.
That's what sticks out to me. He did not want us to have a nice time.
No, I mean, he ultimately wanted to use the Bastards as, you know, an initial little distraction to get himself in a foothold to take over Zarkmoon.
Yeah, that fleet was on their way. You know, it was
they were right in behind you.
We weren't being sent in to solve the problem. We were sent in as a distraction, and yeah.
And even though he was friends with Harry. He captured us and put us in a jail.
Yes.
Where we got hurt. Maybe not because of him, but it's sort of his responsibility that we were able to get injured there while in his care.
And the Craw, despite being villains in our story, were just defending their homeland, and we were the invaders in their story. And also we were in a military area. But he didn't attack a military area. He chose to attack a civilian area, the other side of the moon.
He did.
He attacked the city, like where all the non-combatants were. He was clearly willing to use real shock and awe to just start bombarding the civilian population to just end things quick.
Yeah.
So he is not opposed to hurting unrelated bystanders to win.
Almost BJ-esque in that kind of way of not caring about the casualties or the collateral damage that will happen.
But as to his actual combat skills in hand-to-hand, well, that's a little bit more ethereal. But we do know that he's a military man.
Yeah.
We've seen, like we saw the fight between Herodotus and Monty, for
exactly,
example.
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
But we've never popped the hood. Now, Monty's a different guy. Monty's fiscal situation might not be the same as Larky's. I would bet that Monty, who has, by the way, gone private, he's not working for the government anymore. Or is
it's true.
I mean, definitely, like, to me, like, Monty had a bit more of like a grizzled Vietnam officer vibe versus Larky being a lot more of a pencil pusher.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But Larky is up there with his boys.
Yep.
So, I don't know. He's a pencil pusher, but he goes and visits each shop.
Yep. He still fights the battles with his crew, so...
It's complex. This is a complex flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what?
I mean, definitely in a full-on fist fight, the two of them just standing against one another.
Oh, DEETS
has it. But Larky has the 1 month preparation. He has the budget of the Imperial military. And the arena is one where he can take cover and fight from afar and
you know
potentially
what is also
out-strategize his
dangerous?
opponent.
What's that?
Dick is going to play him.
Yes.
And he has a turtleneck on.
Well, at this point, it's become like so regular, the turtleneck, that...
But he wore this turtleneck on purpose.
He's worn it on purpose.
Sometimes it's just a murderous accident. But today, it was premeditated.
Daryl's gather round. What's a betting pool looking like? What are the books saying to you? Let me see your books. Pull them out.
We've got sets coming in from all over the Empire and from the frontiers. It seems like everybody from mid-space to New Terra and some from Dias are tuning in for this battle.
Look at this. Wow.
And we've got all kinds of opinions, and we've also got the odds on this. You wanna do the honors, Daryl?
Oh,
Daryl,
go ahead.
Let's go, Daryl.
We're the Boffins over the entire Empire, and here are the odds. We've got 5 to DEETS and 3 to Larky. Well, you can tell the state of the Empire right now by looking at those numbers.
In a nutshell, Daryl, in a nutshell. Wow, that's it right there.
But let's ask some of the people in the stands what they think's gonna happen.
Let's switch over to stand cam. Daryl.
just fucking cousin Daryl out in the stands being like, yeah, one day I want to be up there with you, Uncle.
With the other Daryls?
Okay. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Daryl, and I'm the smallest Daryl. It's just my dream to be with my Uncle Daryl, and I just...
Daryl, you're paid to shoot the film, not to talk in front of it.
Hi, it's me. It's
Little
me.
Daryl.
It's little Daryl. It's little Daryl, and I'm out here, and I'm so excited to meet you today, and I'm talking to you about wow, look at all these guys, and it's me, it's Daryl. No, it's turning into Bobby.
But I love it.
So, what have the listeners been saying? Jim says, is this DEETS before or after his encounter with the bastards? Is he fully armed, so to speak?
Ooh, yeah.
100% fixed up. DEETS doesn't have downtime. Are you kidding me?
DEETS does not have
Are
downtime.
you kidding me?
I think the first thing DEETS does before
Is tune up.
anything else is get tuned up immediately
If
after a
you
fight.
think DEETS was broken for more than an hour and a half, you're out of your mind.
No
you're out of
way.
your mind, Jim.
Yeah, he would have crawled inside and stuck new limbs straight on.
We don't even
Deets
get
would
to
have
see that.
connected a rock to himself if he thought it was the only thing he could
DEETS
get.
would have literally pressed a button so that he could explode and fly through the air into a garage.
Yeah. There is no chance. There is no chance in hell that you're catching Deets not armed up.
But Octopus is out here with some opinions. We
Ooh,
got
what's the boy Octopus say?
Octopus, the King Golden Boy. And I like this opinion, to be honest with you, because you know why? It matches my own. I want, I just told on myself. Get it? I want Deets to win. Thank you, because I think, because of me being biased towards him anyway, but I feel like he also may fight dirty, while Larky is inclined to mainly fight the way he was taught in the Empire, so that could give Deets the upper hand. But
Ooh, yeah.
also, I feel like Larky doesn't fight as much as Deets does because of his rank in the army. Good point. Deets is not afraid to kill someone who fucks up once, while Larky will probably get someone else to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with most of that. I mean, the one thing I would say, I don't know that Larky is inclined to fight fair. I think Larky has shown himself to be incredibly underhanded.
A little shitty.
I think what the difference is that Deets' fighting unfair will be seen as like a kind of spur of the moment or doing it as and when it appears, whereas Larky's
He's a
unfair
scrapper.
fighting will be planned and
Yeah, like,
and
I knew your weakness, so I chose to exploit it weeks
exactly.
ago.
Exactly. I don't think you're getting any kind of anything by Larky. But we also saw Larky get shot by an assassin when Larky should have been the safest. So, a broken clock is right sometimes. That's the thing. I don't know.
Well, he placed his faith in the Emperor, and ultimately the Emperor was his
downfall.
biggest threat.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I agree as well, Octopus.
I just want you to know that while we're doing this, everybody is like just spamming the channel with Deets, 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 Deets.
This is cute. Holy heck. Ragnar from the Discord, link in show notes if you want to join, comes in with lol, Larky is gonna lose due to arthritis and gout.
Oh,
That's simple and to the point. I mean, to be fair, Deets is a top of the line war droid.
That's cold. That's
and
cold.
Larky's just an old dude who's not been on the front lines for years.
Dang, but it didn't need to be so spicy, Ragnar. Ouchies.
That's how I like it.
Jim's come in though with his military training. Larky might know how to use his terrain to his advantage more than Deets would.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense. I mean, again,
the military training.
Deets is basically a Tesla. He can see shapes.
I think Deets would be great on home turf. Like Deets knows mid-space, like the back of
How do you like that?
one of his many
figuring?
hands he's had over the years. But Larky, he invades planets. Like Larky knows how to come into unfamiliar territory and use that to his
They're in
advantage.
I don't know if
laser
that's
tag.
unfamiliar territory though, because Larky's playbook is the same every time. Show up, big fleet, bomb. Larky isn't figuring out the terrain outside of the ship. So
I mean, that might be a fair point as well.
I think there's what Jim is saying here with the military training, 100%. But also the counterside to that is that the playbook is probably available online. You can probably find it in the land of hackers.
That
and,
means Deets has already downloaded it, baby.
I imagine so. I could imagine that Deets has figured this out because they got a month to prepare, right?
But also, Deets was in the military too, and Deets, you
The
would
Synth
think
army.
that if
Yeah.
somebody's going to be able to like be resilient and adaptive and use terrain that they're not familiar with in a really intelligent way, it would have to be Deets because he's guerrilla warfare fighting constantly
100%.
in an urban like environment, which is constantly changing. All kinds of it's Deets, baby.
Because, Dickie, what do we know currently about synth warfare? How do the synth armies operate? How do they go about fighting on a battlefield? Because we know how a Terran army does it. It's artillery, it's bombardment, and then it's troops.
I mean, we've not really covered it, have we?
But how do you see it
We've
in your
not looked
mind?
at it. I see it as being quite a overwhelmed with numbers kind of thing. They
Really?
are. I mean, if you remember the one time you guys fought an actual synth army ship,
Yeah.
they were sending individual drone synths just to fly through space and drill into your ship and just take you out that way. Like, they didn't even need to go head to head. They were more like swarm you.
Yeah.
But see, I kind of take the opposite there because you say fight with numbers. We were only hit with a few drones there out of an entire battleship. So it feels to me that the synth army fights more like cares
specialized units.
Yeah, cares more about the safety and the life of their troops. And so fight with a few very specialized people rather than a mass.
Think you might have dick magicked me there. You're right. That's
I've done it.
That's what I did all along, wasn't it?
It
was the specialized units come in, not the main force.
Because I feel like the numbers thing is the Terran
that
move.
lines up a lot with who DEETS is, because DEETS is definitely, we don't know DEETS' origins in the war, but we do know that DEETS is a specialized unit.
Yeah. Especially, yeah. Oh, I can't believe I managed to turn you around on that one, but I'm happy for it.
I stand corrected. We've seen it time and time again, actually.
Yeah, I just felt like the synths, they care about life more than the Terrans do.
Which seems ironic because they're not literally alive, but maybe that's why they value it so much more. They had to fight for people to even understand that that's what they are.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love it.
This is making so much sense. Yes, I 100% agree with all of this.
And also, like, the one time that we would have really gotten a chance to fight the synths, we blew them
Blew
up.
a ship up. We wouldn't do that now, though.
No,
we wouldn't.
Well, like, we had a good reason when we did it.
Yeah, you were fighting them for a bit, and you were probably losing. So, like, it was...
It wasn't like we just rocked up and went, let's blow up a ship. It'd be funny.
And they were trying to take, like, a beautiful, majestic space dragon captive.
Yeah. I still feel bad, though. But,
yeah, well, I regret it now.
Yeah. I regret it now because I've fallen in love with the synths.
Now I'm scared that we're not going to be able to hang out.
Hans the Space Dragon was also deserved a good life, though. So, yeah.
I guess.
Anyways, Isaac was coming in. Isaac, aka Charlemagne, in the Discord, link in show notes, has said, I feel like Larkey would have some aftermarket work done, but I really feel like he just points at you and an orbital bombardment starts. But he could be found wanting and zapped, hole in the head.
Playing both sides there, Isaac, but I think I agree with both of those. I mean, Larkey could just call in a bombardment. But also, yeah, he's just a human man. He could just be shot through the head with one of DEET's many very lethal attachments.
Well,
and finally, we have Jim saying, however many credits I have, I'm all in on Larkey.
Unbelievable.
Okay, but like, no tag team? Because the military is a tag team. A past as Prime Admiral has nothing on a synth enforcer for mid-space. Also, DEETS has some impressive parts from the same people as the Bastards. We're talking K2K2. Even if Larkey's ult was a military bombardment, only an unlucky misstep would take DEETS down. I feel like Jim has talked himself out of his initial statement in the middle of this.
I don't know where you're going with that, Jimmy. It's a wild one, that Jim. He's really voting both sides.
But it was also added, Larkey has top-of-the-line military-grade weapons, blasters, and maybe even a personal ship that is armed to the teeth.
Also true.
I think so.
True.
100%. 100%.
But, Isaac doesn't fully buy it because he's coming in and saying, like, yeah, but, Larkey could be anything. We don't really know for sure. And that's what I'm, like, worried about is we don't fully know 100% if Larkey is rocking any mods. Like,
no, because we have basic ideas of, he's high up in the military, which means budget is not an issue. And we have, especially from the Origin, we've got a bit of an idea now as well about what military contracts actually look like in terms of what BJ is making for the Middle East.
But
which means there could be some scary things
about
hiding in his arsenal.
That we're worried about that allegedly Larkey has. Jay doesn't buy it. Jay is if DEETS could get on the ship, which I think he could, the ship would be useless. So it doesn't even matter. But Jay is still bringing opinions to the table. He thinks that DEETS would still be able to be crafty and determined enough to make it pass near anything that Larkey would be able to throw. He views DEETS as if the Bastards were bad, which some might think that
some might say
maybe we are bad, but whatever. That's cool. That's your opinion, man. But he's saying that, like DEETS, he is the true rival mirror character.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So it's time for us to bet.
it is time to go to the betting pools.
Okay. We had a draw last time, so all three of us have got 1,000 credits to bet still.
Yes. And now, cards on the table. I'm going to be battling on the side of DEETS tonight. Dickie, you're going to be battling for Larkey.
Yep.
And Taylor is going to be our referee.
I am the decider, and I'm gonna throw my vote down right now. And I think you know that 3,000% ACAB, I'm voting for DEETS.
Ooh.
And I am gonna bet the house. I am betting 1,000 credits.
Holy heck!
I'm betting all of it.
Yeah, that's wild.
Because I don't even want this money if I can't bet it all on the DIY on the street.
Ooh.
I see where you're coming from.
Yep.
Thing is, I look at this and I think like 1 month prep time. I say those words over and over again. 1 month prep time.
I don't like where you're going with this.
The might of the Terran military behind him. I'm going to have to go for Admiral Larkey on this one. That said, I'm not willing to go all in on it. Let's say 250 credits on Larkey.
Because you're not betting with your heart.
Bets.
You're not betting with your heart.
Larkey did that and he got a hole through the head, so.
Yeah.
Shot through the heart.
And you're to blame.
Honey,
You gave love a bad name.
And I admire what you're doing there, Taylor, with the 1,000 credits. I love DEETS, but I just am terrified of gambling. So I don't want to spend my entire 1,000 on one thing. So I'm going to give a hearty 600 credits to DEETS.
Well,
All right.
too bad.
Fuck, feel the pressure now to win for DEETS.
Wait, okay, so recap. I'm spending 1,000 credits. I'm putting them on DEETS.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm confident. Dick, what's your final
Dick's
bet?
putting 250.
250.
I'm going 250,
Wow.
250 on Larkey.
That's both of those things just really disappoint me about you. Dan?
And I'm 600 on DEETS.
600 on DEETS.
Because I can't bring myself to spend the whole whack.
Well, both of you are cowards,
something
and that's fine because only the strong survive in the cage fight.
Oh.
The bets are in, Devils. The bets are in, and here we are. We're here, and there's about to be a cage fight.
There is a palpable tension in the air right now. The stands are filled
I
with
shouldn't have eaten all
military
them nachos.
personnel from all over the Terran Empire. Fleets have been arriving all week, filling this stadium.
We can see some of Larkey's men in the crowd. Meanwhile, DEETS has their fair share of supporters as well.
This is the thing. The crowd here at the stadium is filled with Larkey's military might. But the numbers online, those who are streaming live via broadcast, they're all going straight to mid-space. It seems like the entire station is lit up with support for DEETS.
Well, the combatants are taking their places at either side of the arena. Coming into the arena from the left, we've got DEETS, and he's got a robotic, steady, confident pace. Surrounded by an entourage who appear to be making final tune-ups on his chassis, cleaning his weapons and making sure every little joint is well oiled. Meanwhile, coming in at the other side, we have Admiral Larkey. Larkey is accompanied by a single personal assistant carrying a tea tray. And Larkey appears to be, he's having a phone conversation. He's drinking tea. He's giving a polite wave to the crowd. And his eyes are fixed on his opponent. For the first time, he looks ready to fight as he gives that teacup back to that personal assistant. Oh, and it's whipped away. Round one, fight!
So I think,
Ooh, tell us.
think I think from everything we know about these characters, DEETS is going to make the first move.
We'll see how I feel about it.
Oh. So you're putting me in the first move. Dang, Dickie.
I think so.
Okay,
I mean, DEETS has just always been a bit of a first move kind of guy. Without Zuzu there to tell him no, he's just going to go in and try and end this quick, isn't he?
Mommy's not looking.
DEETS immediately starts sprinting towards Larky. Those powerful legs are digging into the ground, and with each stride, a plume of dirt and debris is flying out the back.
You got it right the first time.
I know. You just pointed out the joke.
Great job. Great job. Sometimes you don't see them, you know?
Yeah. And then, sprinting towards Larky, the last minute leaps, but into the crowd.
Whoa.
What the hell? Did he just kill some people in the audience?
No killing. Leaps into the audience. You see DEETS run towards Larky, and at the final moment, DEETS leaps and disappears into the audience.
Well, that's unhinged.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel it.
You're a fool if you thought I'd stand out and face you in the open.
Fuck. And
that's scary.
That's DEETS' opening move.
Nice.
Larky stood there coolly watching DEETS approach. It's not until DEETS got 80% of the way across the arena that you could sort of see the sweat and the waver in his hand, as though you could tell Larky was just holding back.
Oh.
And at that moment that DEETS almost reached and leapt into the air, Larky quickly had one arm up, a heads-up display coming out of one wristband, ready to engage some sort of shield defenses, and then DEETS vanishes into the crowd. Larky immediately having to switch tactics. He's tapping a few things on the holographic screen, and one of his eyes lights up.
Oh, this is
faint, blue-green dot in the center of the pupil as his eye is scanning around inhumanly through the crowd.
Oh no.
That's not just an Apple Watch, Daryl.
And spotting DEETS with his augmented sight, skulking and hiding through the crowd, Larky mumbles something into his earpiece, into his communicator. And all of a sudden, all the Terrans anywhere near DEETS take a step back out of the way.
Oh, fuck, I've been done.
And above, outside the arena, invisible to all but heard by anyone with a good set of ears, a ship swoops down low above the arena.
Very good. We'll hit him with the railgun, boys.
Sorry, old chum, nothing personal.
Great.
Fuck.
And less than a second after Larky calls it in, a hole appears in the ceiling of the arena as a railgun fires a rocket straight down, high speed, at DEETS.
Are you kidding me?
From a ship from the fleet just outside.
Okay.
A railgun, Dan.
DEETS is an armored boy. DEETS relies on heavy plates, the heaviest that can be carried by his chassis. DEETS will have a shield device, though prefers to act with armor. So the shield is probably spent at this point. I don't think the shield's going to be able to tank this and then still survive. The shield will be spent. DEETS continues running towards Larky. DEETS is sprinting at the fastest speed that DEETS can go. Pure rage, anger. Larky's not done anything to DEETS, but DEETS has decided that this is the focus of his violence. In sprinting towards Larky, DEETS starts activating pre-placed bombs throughout the arena. DEETS has had people here, sappers, rules be damned. DEETS is...
Bribe the guards.
DEETS has gotten things in this arena and is firing them off one after the other so that he can get closer and closer to his target. Leaping from explosion to explosion, DEETS is going to launch that large mechanical arm into Larky. One punch, down, and into Larky's body.
You're not the only one who can prepare ahead of schedule, Terran.
That's all it would take. Larky
Jeez.
likes to think he's prepared for every eventuality. However, he's not prepared for DEETS having placed explosives in the arena ahead of the match. That wasn't something he thought was possible. So Larkey has a plan ready to deal with it. DEETS is coming at him. DEETS is running at him. Larkey's back to his playbook. He's standing there perfectly calm, collected, his hand quivering a little bit, but his fear not betrayed on his face until the explosions start going off, at which point Larkey loses his composure, stumbling forward, swearing, cursing, having to quickly change tact as he dives into the dirt, sand flying everywhere, taking cover, deep cover down, turning around just in time to see DEETS coming down at him with that one terrible fist as Larkey very quickly employs his shield generator. And that one big heavy punch from DEETS, along with an explosion right next to him, that's taking out Larkey's shield altogether, putting it out of commission, putting him in a really perilous situation. However, as DEETS lands knocked back by the shield generator, Larkey withdraws a single pistol from inside his jacket. It's fairly small, but has a long, fat barrel. It is sleek and white and has a single logo emblazoned along it. Hazel Williams.
Fuck.
Oh, girl. I mean, what I think is going on is that neither of you people followed the rules very well because, like, you've both had people in here doctoring the arena.
We had two heroes last time. They follow the rules. These are two villains.
I know.
They're not going to follow the rules.
Hey.
So Larkey taking aim with a top-of-the-line BJ weapon.
Jesus. Top of the line BJ weapon.
Aiming it straight at the middle of DEETS and pulling the trigger.
It's long and white and got a tattoo on it, right?
This thing is not a blaster pistol.
No, it is not.
This thing is a specific synth killer weapon.
Oh.
And as such, it emanates a single yellow beam of light that immediately starts wreaking havoc with any circuits and systems it comes into contact with. Using his synth killer weapon, Larkey is evening the physical odds a little bit by taking some of DEETS' systems out of action.
Oh my god, DEETS is actually getting, like, lasered?
DEETS is actually getting lasered. Now let's see. That looks important. Oh, and we should probably take out that as well.
DEETS being blasted apart with, or sustaining consistent damage with this synth-killing laser ray, takes it on the armor, continues to sustain the blast, and paces towards Larkey, lying down prone on the ground. DEETS steps forward, forcing himself through the resisting laser, getting closer and closer, fist clenching and getting tighter, and crackling with hatred and violence. Jesus. And then the fist opens, reaches up, touches a communicator at the side of DEETS' head, and calls in to the airship that Larkey had orbiting above the station, calls in to a double agent, a kill shot. A laser tag is seen creeping along the ground, moving along Larkey's leg, and resting at Larkey's heart.
You really should pay your soldiers more, Admiral.
Oh, that's a good... I like that. Oh my glob. Well, you know what? As the ref, I have to say that, like, I kind of feel like nobody followed any rules at all. Here we are. What did I expect? Two criminals in here.
So Larkey betrayed from within his own organization. DEETS literally standing over him, tanking his synth killer weapon, but not taken out. He's taken a lot of damage, but he's not down, and there is a laser sight pointing down on him. Larkey has but one recourse left to him. Panicking, rolling over, pulling out a simple communication device. That's all he's taking out. No weapon, no secret gadget. He takes out his communicator.
All units, this is an order from your Admiral Larkey. Kill this Kill this thing now! Come out of the stands, weapons drawn!
And the soldiers, as a cohesive unit, come out of the stands. Blaster rifles, blaster pistols, energy blades, all igniting as they mob the arena from their seats. Running in, hoping, some of them even willing to take the shot to body block the sniper for Larkey in hopes that they will get some glory for being martyrs of the Empire, as others close in on DEETS, his body already taken damage, blaster pistols igniting in the air.
Are we at final moves? That was final moves.
Those were our final
yeah.
moves, and it's going to be down to Tay.
It's down to Taylor now.
Okay,
To
all right.
ask us what she needs to, I guess.
Here's what I need.
Fuck.
Here's what I need, because this is really impressive.
Dang.
This is really impressive.
This is a chaotic final
This
scene
is,
right now.
I can see the mob and I can imagine, but here's how fights work. It doesn't really matter what is happening when the bell rings, right? Because then you stop what you're doing. You don't just get to wail on a dude till he dies. I mean, you can if it's underground, Fight Club, don't talk about it. But
I mean, that might happen, but that's outside of
that
who
might
wins, I
happen, but that's
suppose.
outside of the realm of the fight. That's outside of the magic circle. And the magic circle, as you know, is what happens when we play a game, and it means consent. You've consented to play within the magic circle, and that's where we are. And the minute that the bell rings, you're not in the magic circle anymore, and so that is not the game. And so for me, I'm seeing this really impressive move, but it was a move that was done in response to the sniper. So my question to you is, do you think that the sniper could be signaled to fire fast enough to really invalidate the mob that has to get out of its seats and mob up onto the stage or the ring?
Who's this question for?
Both of you, because
That's both of us. We
because
both got to state our
those
case.
I state my case.
those
Yeah.
guys could be ripping DEETS apart, but if Larkey is dead, then it's like,
I'll let you go first, Dickie, here.
yeah, let's
Okay,
hear
so
it.
we are talking, dozens, if not over 100 of Imperial troops in these stands.
Okay, whoa.
Oh, I was
All
imagining
with-
thousands.
All with, well, maybe hundreds.
Dan's like, if you
I mean,
can
how
have
many
any
people-
size
how many
weenie
people-
that you want, why would you make it a little
How
weenie?
many people come to a fight like this? Regardless.
I think this is like a glorious arena. Like, this
This
is
is the
huge.
Coliseum.
This is the
So
biggest event in
among all
mid-space.
those people, is there anyone that is enhanced enough to be able to move with such speed or equipped with an energy shield projector that they can whip out in the nick of time to stop that sniper bot? That's essentially Larkey's only play, is hoping that these aren't people that he's placed intentionally. These are just Terrans who will answer the call.
Oh no!
Is he lucky enough that there is someone that will save his bacon? Because that's his
Or
only
are these
play
just
here.
a bunch of privates? Like, are they even OP enough? Do they have stuff like that yet? Do they have the pay grade to buy tech like that? They weren't handpicked. That might have been a mistake on Larkey's part. But
Trust the system too much.
yeah, I'm gonna hear your piece, Dan. But here's what I'm thinking: like,
Tell me.
you chose this as your kill move.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you hold it?
I think DEETS sees an enemy in Larkey, but also sees an enemy in what Larkey represents. And so from the very beginning, jumping into the audience, knowing that Larkey would fire upon his own, knowing that Larkey would cause that own damage, and then defiantly walking towards a figure of authority and taking the damage, and then in the very last moment, calling in a betrayal that shows the weakness of the Empire. DEETS can stand there broken husk. DEETS can stand there almost destroyed and still know that DEETS has won, because DEETS has shown that the Empire, when they send their best, they still bleed. And so DEETS, in his final move, taps a little button signaling for the kill shot to be made. DEETS then steps towards Larkey and doesn't stop, just stands on him and keeps walking towards the next foe, which is the oncoming horde of Terrans. DEETS isn't over. DEETS doesn't care. DEETS goes for the next one. DEETS has an ideal, and he sticks to it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
People, here's how it is. It's really hard to beat a kill shot. It's really hard to beat a kill shot. It's really hard to beat a sniper that is successfully trained on your skull. And I mean, you could say that what's meant to happen is going to happen. there are many lives that you can lead, but you, in all of them, don't avoid getting clapped. Bap, bap. Guess who won this fight? It's DEETS! And not just because Larkey is the man, which we hate here in Bastard headquarters. We don't like it. But I gotta bring it to you. Larkey's big move was like, look at all my boys. Larkey didn't plan anybody special. It's just the raging, wild buffalo wings and beer crowd that he brought with him. These motherfuckers are probably 18. They are green. They don't know what's going on. They're just mobbing the ring, and DEETS has had a sniper trained on this guy. What does it matter if they mob if Larkey is bleeding out on the floor under everybody's feet?
And I have decided the winner tonight is gonna be DEETS for the shot in the head. Can't beat it. Larkey came hard, but this game has been decided.
And so, as thousands of Terran soldiers drawing their weapons, mobbing the field, closing in on DEETS, as DEETS nonchalantly pushes a single button before a single Terran soldier can get even close enough to bring up an energy shield and protect the Admiral Larkey. A single blaster shot fires through the hole that Larkey himself made in the ceiling, straight through his head, emptying his brain all over the dirt. And DEETS stomps his body, cracking ribs into the ground, stepping over the body without a second glance.
Gross.
Igniting his energy blaze, ready to parry the first attack as he is mobbed by countless Terrans, taking a blaster shot to the head, taking one down with him, taking a blaster shot to the back, dropping to one knee, looking about. As the Terrans are all coming in, there are at least 10 blasters aimed point blank at his synthetic skull. DEETS opens up a panel on his chest and pushes the big red button behind the panel.
Oosh. I win.
DEETS self-detonates, taking out at least 24 Terrans around him.
Oh my god.
Having already won the battle, he also goes out with dignity and takes plenty of them with him.
Bloody heck.
Unbelievable.
Heck.
Well, Daryl, we've seen a lot of things happen in this arena of death and destruction, but I have never seen anything like this. The entire audience is there on the pitch, fighting against one single-handed DEETS.
I don't know about you, Daryl, but I want to get out of here with my life intact. Let's get up to that helipad and get out of here before this scene turns even more ugly. I think they're about to riot.
Daryl, grab the nachos and let's get the hell out of here. What a night.
We'll see you all next time in the Battle Arena.
And if they can scrape enough pieces of DEETS back together, we'll see him in a later round.
I'm sure he'll be back. That type of synth don't go down easy. And we've got evidence of that tonight on the pitch. Plenty of them. Yep, there goes another one. Oh, yep, oh. They're just being chopped up to pieces down there.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's so cool. Dang, that's awesome.
Incredible. Well,
right, so we've won, Taylor.
That's it.
We've won money.
We've won money, and I didn't think we were going to because Larkey was bringing it, but then DEETS showed up at the end there.
I was a bit nervous to command such a powerful foe, but at one point I channeled DEETS, and wow, I felt powerful. I love DEETS even more now.
So what were our odds? It was 5-3, which means I guess you get 3/5 of your betted amount.
Whoa, you're doing math about it. I just doubled.
Please do the rest of the math then, because I can't.
3/5. Okay, so in Taylor's case,
okay, let's go, Dick. Let's do the math hour.
Divide.
No,
you were just going to double it.
I just
were
doubled
you?
it. I was just like, Now that you,
What's the point of having odds if we don't use
now
them?
that you
He's just like, I'll just take twice.
now that you say it, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I just gave myself another. So, I mean, the final standings as they are, we all started with 1,000 credits each because last time was a draw and we just kind of went, fuck it. But this time, we made some money. And by we, I mean everybody but Dick. And so that means that Dan got some money. 1,360 credits.
Yes.
All right.
And that's not all. I made some money. I felt like I was going to get a lot more money because I bet all my money, but it turns out it's not really how it works. So I ended up with 1,600 credits.
Heck.
You know what's left? A couple little tiny coppers in DM
I
Dick's
didn't
pockets.
lose that much because I didn't bet too much on Larky.
Okay, well, be proud of it. You are left with
Taylor and I,
750 credits, and we're proud of you. You got enough to go
proud of
get
you.
yourself a milkshake and a pedicure or whatever. Like
You can win it all back next round.
Yeah, I mean,
You got some money.
Who are we going to be
you
having?
got a little bit of money.
Who's going to be here next?
Who's
I'm really
next?
excited to do this again because this is just a ball every time.
Well, look, I've
are we putting
seen
in the
a little.
cage?
If we were to do a "Who's that Pokemon" moment,
Who's that Pokemon?
if you were to look to the silhouettes on the stage of the next fighters,
Okay,
you would see.
Two tiny little figures.
and you can tell by the way that they walk
You can tell the energy.
is way bigger than those tiny little shadows.
Whoa! Okay,
We got there.
that's it. No more hints. I can't wait for this
That
one.
one's gonna be.
Oh, yes.
We're gonna have to change
That
it
one's
up a
gonna
little
be
bit for
fucking
that.
incredible. I cannot wait.
It's gonna be a interesting context.
Yes.
But this has been a hell of a thing, and I think
Hopefully, Dick's got
We were
enough money
leaning-
for next time.
we were leaning on a DEETS victory,
we
but
can lend him money.
I didn't expect it to be like such a a dramatic victory that made me love DEETS even more.
Well, look, I told you coming into this, I love DEETS. I didn't even realize that that's how it was going to go out, but in the moment, that's what felt right.
And I mean, I can't help but make Larky panic and squirm because ultimately that's who he is underneath all the preparation, all the bluster, all the ruthlessness.
So embarrassing.
Yeah, so embarrassing. And Taylor, you were referee. How did it feel to be in the ref spot?
I mean, I can't wait to.
That's why I like.
My mind was like, well, it was really confusing. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let me tell you, I mean, it was a good night to be king, is all I'm saying. Here at the King Golden Boy Championships, I was out here calling the shots, and I mean, now, if that ain't power, then what is?
Oof.
The King Golden Boy Championships.
Yes.
I think
Is
it's
that what
just
it is
always
now?
going to be
That's what
called
it's going
that
to have
now.
to be, the King Golden Boy Championships. I love how dismissive
Who will
it is.
take home the King Golden Boy
The King Golden Boy.
King Golden Boy.
It's just
or the
a
King
little,
Golden Belt?
Just a little baby, like, coated in gold
the
fucking
King
paper.
Golden Boy.
Well, heck, guys. We had a fight. We destroyed the stage. There were multiple
I listened to it too
casualties
much.
after the main event, but I think that's all we really have time for. So,
Somebody get out here and mop it up.
Skadoodle on out of here. But before we do, if you want to influence the odds on the next one of these we do, get onto our Discord where we chat to our friends and buddies about what they think about the matchups that we're doing. And if you want a little more of us in your ears, we do have an additional podcast that you can listen to. We release
do.
twice a month on our Patreon. You can hear more of us rocking around out of character like we have been tonight.
Both of those links are in the show notes.
Yeah, they are.
So anyhow, until next time, I just want to extend to all of you my sincerest thanks for listening and a bye.
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 Tune in next time for another edge of your seat adventure in space with the Backwater Bastards.
If you enjoy listening, but also have eyes, check out our Instagram, where we post drawings, illustrations, character art from our adventures. Backwater_bastards. Check out our Instagram on Instagram.
One lone stealth generator equipped gangster slinks out of the arena carrying a satchel. And in that satchel, the head of DEETS, one eye still flickering and glowing.